Hey, it's Jack Spear, and this is my tale of a twisted youngin.
Hey everybody, I'm Myra.
This is Desi Dev.
And you're tuned in to Twisted Youngins, and sitting to my left we have a special guest, Jack Spears.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
With a couple
What's
Z's
good?
on the end.
Yeah, that's honestly just because I can't do Jack Spear on Instagram.
Oh, okay,
Great. I thought it looked cool.
So what's up, man? How you feeling?
Good. I'm very happy to be here.
All right, I checked out your song. You have your latest single, Backwoods on the Moon.
Yeah,
Doing great right now.
Yeah.
The production, the video was slick. I like it.
Shout out Paul Mizzy. That shit went crazy.
Man, it was dope, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Facts.
All right, so like, man, let's get into that for starters. Like, man, like, so, is this like your single that you're like really pushing right now? Is this leading up to a project or?
Yeah, this is definitely like, I dropped like 2 other songs as singles, but like this is the one to me that like I was gonna put all my effort into promoting. I just felt like it was very, very special, even from like the moment we created. We actually, fun fact about that song, it's like 9 months old. Me and him had made that back in like March, and we just sat on it because I knew we were gonna do a video for it, and I knew Paul Mizzy was the only videographer I knew of or had like a relationship with that was gonna be able to execute the vision the way we had wanted it done. And so he was just on tour with Young Pinch, so we just had to wait. So like pretty much just a waiting game.
Got it.
Honest,
so you're like waiting on him, like, man, you the man from the job. We'll sit on it, we'll wait whenever, and we'll pick it up and go from there.
Exactly.
I think you did the right thing, man.
Thank
I
you.
like it. Like the whole astronaut thing, then you all were like blowing inside the smoke, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I checked it out. Like, I checked out everything. It was nice.
Thank you.
It's
You
nice.
came up with that concept?
The song or
Video.
that was something we both kind of came together with. Like, so our original goal was for my album cover Sign in Blood, we created this whole little scene to portray the cover art picture. We like to take the photo. We did like this whole we made like a whole universe pretty much. And we wanted to recreate that universe in the music video. But like obviously make it like a more unique to the song, so it's not just the whole project, but it like fit similar elements that were a part of Sign in Blood. Like,
Gotcha.
like with this album, I wanted to create like a universe in my head. Like I wanted it to be very dark. I wanted it to be very not pessimistic. I wanted it to just be real. I wanted it to like have very, very vulgar, like dark content, because to me, like that's where I was when I like came up with the idea of the tape. Like that's what was going through my head. That's what I was experiencing.
What were you going through at the time?
Some crazy shit. Like Backwoods on the Moon itself was the first song I made off the tape, and that song is actually about this ex-girlfriend who I, fell in love with, all that corny shit, and then she cheated on me a shit ton, like just fucked my whole world up. I was like hurting myself, like just doing fucked up shit to myself, like because I felt like I was the issue. You
were the issue, and did you catch her cheating? Yeah,
it's the whole mess. I'm not even gonna go into
Jesus,
the story.
hold on, wait a minute. That's heartbreak, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, man.
There's some stuff like that.
Yeah,
that you love.
And for you to go through that cycle and doing something
you
yourself?
figured her out though. That's what's so crazy. Like you like, damn, that's against her personality. What the fuck?
It was crazy because like you feel like you know someone, and then it's like, no, you don't. You know, like a fifth of that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it's like you see that person every day for like 3-4 months, and it's like, nah, that's not you.
And that was like your first heartbreak, right?
Yeah.
First, like the way you express
that's embarrassing. It feels embarrassing.
Definitely.
It kills you. Like, hey, you better be sane, because you could commit suicide. Like
it's a serious thing. It's like that's just not cool. Like that's just real. And like once you do that and make that mistake, it's something you don't come back from. And like but anyway, like the Backwoods on the Moon specifically, that song, I wanted it to represent loneliness. Like when I first created it, it was actually a very like melancholy song. Like when we released it, it's like a little different now. It's like a little bit more happy because nowadays I'm in like a better place. I'm happier. And so like I didn't want it to be like, oh, our first single is gonna be like crying, heartbroken over some bitch. I don't give a fuck about now. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's just like it's a creative, I thought it was a really creative way of making like a heartbreak song. Because to me, like there's so many ways to make a song called like fuck my ex, bitch. Like that's a whole hook right there that I've heard 40,000 times that people do over heartbreak. But I've never heard in my life a song like Backwoods on the Moon.
No, it doesn't, because when you even if you look at the title, Backwoods on the Moon, you didn't even think about it as it being a heartbreak song. Exactly. You would have to really listen to it, walk into your role, what you were thinking, listen to those lyrics, and even look at the visual experience. Like, oh, okay, he went through some things. But Backwoods on the Moon, you probably wouldn't even think about. Like, it was a heartbreak song. So I think it was creative in that aspect of it.
Thank you.
Are you a religious person?
Not really. I like the idea of religion, but I find too many like small things with certain religions that I just can't completely come to accept. I guess like personally though, I think if I were to choose a religion to be Buddhism, I think I align with that one.
Wow.
But like I've never practiced it or anything in my life. I just like
because that's more of a yourself. Like Buddhism
it's just
is
like
more...
it's like just very open. It's very accepting of all people's you know ideas. You know like for example, I was raised to be Catholic, but the whole like you know you're going to hell if you're gay thing was just like that. Like I was like 13 talking about like why the fuck are you going to hell because you're so, like who you like that just didn't make any sense to me. So like I just like was like I don't think I'm gonna just take a step back from this religion a little bit to like, understand more about it. Obviously like I still like believe in like God and Jesus because like I do wear the chain, but like I believe in parts of it that I like.
You believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
But you don't know necessarily what the name is to it and, you know, how is it. But you believe it's something bigger than you that created you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what main ingredient do you think is a key essential to making your style the way it is?
Man, that's...
Or you may not have a main ingredient. You may...
Is it the beat?
No, sometimes. So I would say, man, that's a hard-ass question because...
Okay, what makes you different from other artists? And we'll simplify it.
His experience is probably the way you look at the world.
I think that, but also like the sound. And so I guess like if we were gonna answer that on like a very technical level, it would be like I rock really heavy with CLA plugin. I really rock with. I honestly do pretty heavy reverb. I think nowadays like people have moved on past reverb, but I stick with reverb very heavy. I like I do heavy delays. I do heavy distortion sometimes. Auto-tune, like all that shit. So like on a technical level, that's what I use to stand out and create my sound. Obviously there's some other things I'm not gonna say. I don't want to like
No, I got you. Like I'm asking like that's what I want to hear. Like your sound. This is, you know, time for you to, you know,
definitely
get yourself and put out what your music and how you feel about it and how your thought making process. That I want to hear that, you know.
Yeah. And part of that too is like from a lyrics perspective, I would say that a lot of my shit is very realist, like not optimistic or pessimistic in a way. Like you could look at it as pessimistic because some of the shit I say is very dark, but to me it's just me being real because it's like shit I've seen in life. But like some people would be like, man, he's not seeing any hope in his world. But I'm like, and the time when I wrote that, I just didn't see hope. So
Like so you wrote, would you agree that you have wrote some of your best music in your dark days?
100%.
Yeah.
1000%. And
because that's when it's raw emotion. Like you don't give a fuck how somebody feel about you. You just, this how I feel at this time. I don't care how I look towards you. You like, oh, this is pussy. He's just crying about a girl. I don't care. This is how I feel. It is what it is. I might cry. Like once you like, that's when you become great. When you will cry in the studio. Like, hey, because it feel like it's hitting your heart so much, but it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, man, that...
You can empathize, right?
When we finished Backwards on the Moon, man, I straight cried to that song for like 2 days straight. Like
that's what's up, though. I mean, hey, there's no shame in it. That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
So, I like to know your creative influences. I always like to know that.
So... Not necessarily like music-wise, but like I really peeped note of the way Anthony Russo came up. Like where I think stylistically we're very different, but like so I had the like we had like linked up a few times before he moved out to LA, and so I got like an in-close view of like how an artist who's literally about to blow up moves. You know what I'm saying? Like because I got to get in the studio with him like literally like 2 months before he moved out to LA, and he just like you know, is like, yo, when you're doing your singles, make sure that your cover art is, they're all like similar. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people like associate the brand. Like you start to build a brand when you drop. Like, he like pointed about how Russ did it so independent. He was like, yo, like he consistently dropped quality music every 2 weeks. So his fans began to know, you know, this Tuesday, Russ is dropping some new heat and it's gonna be fire. And through that consistency of quality, high quality music, he was able to build a platform himself. And so to just like having him break down that there is a science to like, you know, building leverage for yourself as an artist was fucking massive. I think music wise though, I really like, I love Vince Staples.
Okay.
Love Vince Staples.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Like, I used to dig Vince Staples like about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're the first person that ever said Vince Staples.
My thing with him is that like, obviously we have completely different like stories and like our music is very, very different, but like he's also a realist. Like he says the most like dark shit, but he's not even being pessimistic. He's just telling you the shit he saw yesterday. You know what I mean? And like I just fucking love that, how an artist is able to capture the imagery of shit going on in his life and just like create a movie with it through music.
Yo. All right, man, plug yourself, bro. Let them know.
Yeah, Sign in Blood is coming at the end of November, beginning of December. Backwards on the Moon is about to be released on Elevator Magazine. Jack Spear Music. Shout out my man's Alex Oren. Shout out Everything's Fly.
Alex.
Shout out Joseph X. Shout out Pharaoh.
All right.
Dope, man.
Check him out, y'all. He's dope.
All right, thanks for tuning in with Twisted Youngins. You've heard his tale. Pretty interesting. I can't wait.
Yeah.